Good morning, it's Erik DeSando, Rants. This morning I want to talk about perception and attitude. And I've talked about attitude before, but I want to give you an example of how important attitude is in your life. So, I believe that everything is predicated upon the way you see the world. The great Einstein, who had the spiritual and analytical sides mastered, very rare in a human being, noticed that when he looked at the smallest particles in our body, which are called quarks, that every time he looked at the quark, it would change form. It would literally be different and rearranged every single time he looked at it. And after some contemplation, he realized it was because of the way he was feeling, the quark was moving and changing. The reason I mention this is that your attitude pretty much determines what you see. Let's say that you are looking at an Asian person and I'm looking at an Asian person. My attitude toward Asians is very good. I've had a good experience with Asian people. I've maybe had an ex-girlfriend who was Asian, whatever, business partner who was Asian, and I really enjoy working with them. You, on the other hand, have had nothing but problems with them. They're analytical to you. They can't make a decision. Maybe you think they're moronic, and typically you don't like working with them. The way you physically see them, if you could take a picture of what they look like, and I could take a picture of what the same person looks like, it wouldn't be the same person. I mean, much of the characteristics would be the same, but the way you arrange their quarks, their particles, would make them look different to you. In the case of a person that has a negative attitude, they would look uglier, meaner, less interesting. In the behavior patterns the person has, you would see way more of the negative behaviors coming out, while the person that has a good attitude towards that Asian person would have the opposite experience. They would ignore the negative and see the positives. So, what's my point? My point is, since you determine every aspect of your life and you can really, really, really have the life you want, it has to come from attitude. You have to see the world in a certain way. And if you do, everything else will take care of itself. So this morning, be kind, as I'm going to be when I do my work today. Even though I'm bleary-eyed and I'm squinting, and I'm not even squinting, and it's raining in LA, which is extremely not normal. Thank God we're getting rain. This is the only place in the world where we cherish rain. Well, maybe not, but certainly in the US. So go out and get it and see the world as kind and loving, and it will treat you the same.